Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So by the title of today's video, you'll be able to see that I'm reviewing the East Blue Saga of the One Piece anime. Finally, I finished the East Blue Saga. Yes, I feel like it took me so long, but then again, it was 61 episodes. So maybe it actually didn't, maybe I was actually quite quick. I don't know. But I finished it a couple of days ago, but I didn't have a chance to film until today. But I know it was Nami's birthday the day I finished it, East Blue Saga, which was July 3rd? July 3rd? I also saw they had like a One Piece night at like this baseball game. I'm British, so I don't know much about baseball. Like, give me some rounders, I got you, but baseball? I don't really know, but I know that Emily Rudd, who plays Nami in the live action, like threw the ball. How cool is that? Anyway, let's get on to the review. Just quickly, if you don't know who I am or you haven't seen me before, my name is Molly Jane and this is my YouTube channel. I do a lot of reviews of TV shows, mostly Netflix TV shows. I also would like to start doing reactions, but I need to figure out how I can like screen record Netflix and Disney Plus and all the streaming platforms because it just does not let you do it when I try and do it. So I'm gonna try to figure that out. If anyone knows how, let me know. But I previously did a video on One Piece about the One Piece live action, which was my first ever introduction to One Piece. Go check it out because that was a really good video. And now I've watched East Blue Saga, so I feel like I'm on my way to really being a pro. That's a lie, I'm nowhere near, but I'm having a great time and I'm so excited to move on to Alabasta, which I'll also do a review on. I'm going to be doing a review of every single saga and breaking it down to the arcs. I made notes as I was watching. There's a couple arcs that I just like, they were so short that I didn't really get to write much about them. I look like Wednesday Addams. I feel like I look like Wednesday Addams. Oh, why do I always regret my hair choices? Thank you all so much for your comments on my One Piece live action review video. They were so nice, especially people that were informing me of things about the story and about the author and just the history. It was so interesting to read about. And also I asked in my last video, because I am an aspiring actor, who would you cast me as from the One Piece anime if they were to continue making the live action? Who would you see me as the live action adaptation of? Please let me know. I've had a couple comments of it already on my last video and I've made a list of the characters people mentioned and I will be looking out for them to see if I agree with you guys. Hopefully they're all nice characters, or even if they're not, I like a challenge. I can play a bitch if you want me to. Like, so to my knowledge, the East Blue Saga has 7 arcs. Romance Dawn, Orange Town, Syrup Village, Baratie, Arlong Park, Loguetown and Warship Island. Anyway, let's start off with Romance Dawn, which was episodes 1 to 3. So with Romance Dawn and Orange Town, I don't remember much because I didn't start making notes properly until Baratie, because I was like, shit, I should probably make notes for my review video, but I was so like in it and just engrossed in it that I just like kind of forgot to start making notes. So I only have a few here. Firstly, the intro is fire. Like, the song and the intro is so cool. I already had it memorized, like that first intro. They changed the intro later on in the arcs. I don't like those intros as much as the first one. It was so cool.
Wealth, fame, power. Gold Roger, the king of the pirates, attained this and everything else the world had to offer. And his dying words drove countless souls to the seas.
And the end credit song as well. The end credit song! That was in my head constantly. I was constantly singing it. The old end credit song, because they changed that as well. The first one. I was constantly singing it. Oh, also, PSA, I am watching it in the English dub. I'm sorry. No, I watch a lot of K-dramas and I never watch in dubs. I cannot stand watching it in the dub just because the mouth doesn't match up with what's being said and it just like is so jarring to me. But I cannot for the life of me figure out how I put on the Japanese version, like the original version. I can't figure it out. I'm watching it on BBC iPlayer. If anyone knows how to do that, please let me know. But I'm looking through the settings and am I missing something? I don't know how to do it, but the English dub has not been too bad so far. Like, the words not matching up hasn't been as impactful as it is in like live action kind of shows. It's been easy to watch and it's been very well voice acted in my opinion. So it's fine, but like obviously I would love to experience it in the original language, at least for like an arc, just to see kind of how that is. But yeah, that's just a PSA. So my intro and end credit song were all the English versions too. Come aboard and bring along all your hopes and dreams. It's so great. It's like, I don't know, it's very like childish in a way, like, but in like the best way. It gives like a kid energy, but it's so catchy and it's so good. Anyway, moving on from that. The Luffy introduction was great and everything with Kobe was really cool. I was surprised to see how much less of Kobe I saw for this entire saga. Like, I saw him in Romance Dawn and a little bit in Baratie. I think they cut to the Marines for a bit. But like, other than that, I did not see Kobe, the Marines, or Garp at all. So they changed that for the live action, which was cool. It was cool to see those differences and be like, oh, that happened, this didn't happen, that wasn't, you know. And obviously they changed how they met Zoro. They were like on the side of like a building. What was it? The yard where he was like being strung up, and he'd been strung up for like a month with no food or whatever. And I'm like, how are you still there? You know, I was gagged by that. That's kind of all I wrote for Romance Dawn. And Orange Town, I only wrote 2 things as well, so that's episodes 4 to 8. Love Shanks. I loved Shanks in the live action. Of course I'm gonna love him in the anime. He's great. He's such a great character. Like, I really like him. And I loved the Buggy storyline. It was a bit more fleshed out. It was a bit more, like, I loved the bit with the dog and the town's mayor. Is it who it was? I loved that. The dog and like him wanting to protect his house. It was so cute. It's so cute. I really liked Orange Town. Not my favorite like fights of the saga by any means. Like the fights in Arlong Park and Baratie, which I'll get onto, were so fucking good. These weren't like as impressive, but it was still good. So then on to Syrup Village, which is episodes 9 to 18, and this is where we meet Usopp. And this was super fleshed out, which I really enjoyed. I liked it in the live action. I think that it obviously had many differences. I liked that we got to see Kaya's house properly in the live action, but what I really liked about Syrup Village was that it was, as in the anime version of Syrup Village, was that it was super fleshed out. We got to meet the Usopp pirates, who, like, that was, I wish they kept that because they were really cute, and I loved their kind of storyline bit with Kaya. Yeah, it really went into more detail about Captain Koro's kind of powers, and also the hypnotist guy. He had like a cool kind of, well, you could say it's a power. It wasn't a devil fruit power, it was just a hypnotist. But like, it was very effective, and it changed the whole way of the fights because he could make people believe they were like a certain power, and then all of a sudden they were harder to defeat, which was really cool. Kaya and Usopp were adorable. I love them. I really do love them. The brothers fighting Zoro was really cool, especially when Nami kicked the swords to Zoro. I think that was kind of the first time we really saw some teamwork going on and some care. Nami helping him out was really cool, and then Nami getting injured, I was like, oh, my girl. And Luffy ate. Like, he really showed how smart he was in this, because he portrays himself as a bit dumb, a bit like a child, because he is silly. He's silly, but he's not stupid. And it was really nice to see him like kind of use his smarts with when he was fighting Captain Koro. Is it Koro? I can't remember. Klahadore, we'll say, because I know that's definitely how you say that one. Yeah, it was really cool how he kind of logged in to be able to defeat him. Very cool. And the Gaimon episode that was at the end of the Syrup Village arc, I checked, it was like in the arc. I'm pretty sure maybe it was filler. I think it was filler. I don't know for sure, but like it kind of felt like filler. It was really good though, because it showcased their characters' morals, especially with finding the treasure. And how Luffy didn't want to tell him that there was any treasure up there, or like told him he was going to take it so that he wouldn't think that his life's purpose of wanting to get that treasure was nothing. You know, it was good at explaining the characters' morals. On to Baratie, which was episodes 19 to 30. So this was so good, especially the fights. so good. I love Baratie. I love the whole concept of Baratie, the restaurant in the middle of the ocean, that whole sort of thing is so cool to me. The Sanji introduction was amazing, and the parts about Zeph only fighting with his feet to protect his hands as a cook, then Sanji doing the same thing, knowing that that Sanji learned that kind of from Zeph and learned his fighting from Zeph. Such a cool addition. Is it Don Krieg? Don Krieg? He was so annoying. He was so annoying, like, shut your bitch ass up. He was so annoying. I kind of was like, while I was watching, I was like, I wish they'd kept him in live action because his fight with Luffy was really interesting. But they did keep him in the live action. I just didn't know at the time his significance because I hadn't seen the anime. But basically, I convinced my parents to watch the live action One Piece because I kept yapping on about how good it was, and they were like, sure, we'll watch it. And so while rewatching, I noticed that Mihawk and Shanks were at Goldie Roger's execution, and Don Krieg was the person that Mihawk killed while on the phone to Garp. Another thing on the fact that my parents watched it, basically, my mum came into my room while I was watching the anime and she goes, oh, this is like the One Piece thing you're talking about. I'm like, yeah. She's like, this used to play on like channels back in like the 90s and 2000s. She's like, yeah, I would see it in passing, just like it would always be playing on channels. And I'm like, I don't know why I did not expect that, especially in like the UK. I was like, oh my gosh, that's the impact of One Piece is crazy. Like, even my mum had heard of it before, which is wild. Trust me guys, that's wild. I love how they really emphasize how strong Mihawk is, and his fight with Zoro was so good. Like, Zoro is obviously amazing, but he has such a long way to go, and it was so obvious in how effortless Mihawk defeated him, like beat the shit out of him. But I love their mutual respect. I really love their mutual respect for each other, especially from Mihawk, because he didn't need to show him the mercy that he did. But I can't wait to see them come up against each other in the future, because I'm sure they will, because if he's going to achieve his dream of being the world's greatest swordsman, they have to. So I'm excited for that, and I will obviously be rooting for Zoro, but I really like Mihawk. Like, I really like him. I loved the Sanji and Zeph backstory detail. They told it really well in the live action, but the detail in the anime was much better, especially about his foot being trapped and then him having to like snap it off with the anchor to save Sanji in the water. And Luffy versus Krieg was one of my favourite fights of the whole saga, mostly because of Zeph's narration of Luffy's character. It was so accurate, him saying that that's someone that's not afraid to, you know, die for what he believes in, or not afraid to do, like, it was so accurate and I loved it. Anyway, on to Arlong Park, which is episode 31 to 44, and this might have been my favourite arc of the saga. Like, it was so good. I think it was my favourite, but I liked Loguetown. Is it Loguetown or Loguetown? I'll get on to that. Why was I gagged over this whole thing even though I knew it was coming? Like, the whole time I was like when Bellamere died, I was like, what just happened? Even though I knew. But honestly, I was sobbing at that. It was so much sadder in the anime. It's like the silence and the way that like the drawings kind of just went to like almost like the outlines of the characters, and it was like really, it looked visually heavy, and I was like, and then it cut to that goofy ass song. You know how they do those like cutscene songs when they've got, each character has their own theme song, which is like the oh my god, why have I now forgotten how it goes when I literally hear it in my brain constantly, in my sleep? I'm hearing Luffy's theme song. How's it go again? Like, only Sanji's is coming to my mind right now, the and Nami's Also, Nami killing Usopp was so interesting, and I think it was such a great addition to the reveal that Nami isn't evil. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was really great for us to be like, oh my god, she just killed Usopp, to having that reveal of no, she didn't. And it really helped support her case. Zoro easily taking out the fishmen while waiting for Arlong to come back was so iconic. It's like he was just sat there, like, injured as well, can I just say. He's just sat there like, so when's Arlong getting back? Like, is he on his way? Or like, Genzo is such a good character. I love him. I love how he treats Nami. I love how he looks out for Nami. I loved how he cared for Bellamere. I'm pretty sure they had a little thing. I think they had a little thing, in my opinion. The Sanji and Zoro versus the Fisherman episodes had me the most stressed. That was the most stressful, seeing how injured Zoro was and seeing Sanji just literally with the under the water. Like, I wasn't stressed about Luffy. His head was out the water. They were gonna sort him out because he was gonna kill Arlong. But I was stressed about Sanji in the underwater bit. But those fights were the best. What was the octopus guy saying? 6-sword style. And it's like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up with your 6-sword style. We don't do all that over here. We're fine with Zoro's 3-sword style. Thank you. I loved it. I think it was the first time we'd really see them struggle and then still win. Like, it felt like an actual difficulty, you know? Next onto Loguetown or Loguetown. Is it Loguetown or... because they said Loguetown. But the way it's spelled, I want to say it's Loguetown. Like, I don't know. I'm going to say Loguetown because that's what they said in the anime, but I feel like it's Loguetown. Anyway, so that's episodes 45 to 53. So I thought this felt a bit like a filler arc at the start. Like, I thought it was a filler arc. Just because the way they were all very relaxed, there was nothing really going on. But yeah, I think just because it was like really chill, it felt like maybe it was filler, but like I was enjoying it as I went along. But then obviously we got to way more story stuff towards like the middle to the end of the arc, and I was like, no way, this is not filler. And yeah, I like how each Straw Hat got their own episode following their adventures in Loguetown. Yeah, I like how we got to see Usopp against the guy, the marksman guy whose name I can't remember, with his daughter, and then he spoke about Yasop. Loved that. A little bit more backstory context. Sanji against his like cook girly, and he ate her up, period. And then Zoro against Tashigi. That was really cool. I really liked that. It once again reinforced Zoro's kind of moral compass and beliefs of like, you can still be a great swordsman no matter who you are. Like, don't dumb yourself down or anything like that. Like, he had all respect for her like he would any other swordsman. Yeah, that was cool. Especially their stuff about the special swords and the, oh my, the bit when he chucked the curse sword and put his arm out and it like didn't. Yeah, that was, I liked that bit. That was cool. The Smoker character, he's very interesting, especially his devil fruit. I think his devil fruit was really cool. He seems kind of like, he's a marine, so fuck him, but he also seems like he has this belief in Gold Roger, and so he's like, because he sees that in Luffy. I can't tell if he like, that makes Luffy more of a target to him and wants to kill him more, or if that makes him someone he like respects Luffy and he's kind of like, do your thing. It seems like he wants to kill him more, but it seems like it's kind of in a grey area. I don't know. One of my favourite parts of this entire saga so far, and I think it's because from Loguetown onwards was stuff that I didn't know, because with the live action, as much as there was so much more in the anime which was so interesting, you still kind of know how it ends, you know the result. Loguetown onwards I didn't know anything about, so I think that's why everything kind of shocked me more and I was like on the edge of my seat more, especially as we got further into the arc. The way that fate interfered in like the Buggy versus Luffy moment when he was on the execution platform, probably my favourite moment from the entire East Blue saga. Like, that was so cool. And it really just like gives context for the rest of the story to come, that Luffy is meant to be the king of the pirates. It was just perfect. It was a perfect choice for that moment to really, as we're coming towards the end of the first saga, to show us like, Luffy's gonna make it. You're just gonna watch his journey to making it, but he's gonna make it. The Alvida glow up was not on my bingo card. I was like, I did not expect her to come back. I thought she was kind of done. I like her devil fruit. I don't think it's the most useful one. Like, it's not the most impressive one. My favourite devil fruit is coming up later in the other arc. It's just my personal one I would love to have. The foot barrel scene at the end when they all put their feet on the barrel and say their dream. It's the cutest thing ever. I freaking love it. It's so cute. And then off to the Grand Line. period. I loved it. I really loved that arc, especially the second half of it was really good. Then we're on to Warship Island, which was episodes 54 to 61, and online it says this is a filler arc. So I don't know really what that means, because there was still a lot of story going on in this. So does that mean everything that happens is just non-canon, so they're never going to bring it up again? Pay to the story? It must do, because they found the Grand Line. And they entered the Grand Line at the end of it. So I don't get how it's filler. Please make that make sense for me at some point, because it still kind of canonically works in the story. Sanji is so sweet. It's giving dad coded the way he was with RP. Is RP or RPiece? Because I heard them saying RPiece, but it's spelled A-P-I. So RP. I'm going to say RP, but I heard them say RPiece. Maybe it's RPiece. Sanji and Nami were just giving parent vibes to RP, and I really liked that. I think that they are the most mature in the crew. I think in like their Straw Hats family dynamic, Nami and Sanji would definitely be the parents. And it's not about their relationship with each other as such, more about just who they are. Like Nami's like big sister coded, or mum coded even, and Sanji is dad coded, or like, you know. I think Zoro's more older brother coded than Sanji is. That's why I say Sanji's more like a dad or an uncle, whereas Zoro is like the big brother, and then Luffy's like the youngest child, in my opinion. Usopp is pure middle child energy. Pure middle child energy, in my opinion. The kid was really cute. At the start, I was kind of worried that she would be annoying or like an inconvenience, but I really like Harpy. I think she was cute. And when Zoro caught her, I really liked the way they all looked out for this kid. I think once again speaks to their moral compass, speaks to who they are as people, especially with the different ways that they dealt with her. Like how Luffy's kind of affection to her was saying that her cooking was good even when it definitely wasn't. Zoro was catching her, but he kind of was doing it like in a, I just do this because I have to, but he wanted to. And Sanji and Nami were really comforting her with words and looking out for her mentally more, I guess. One of the funniest things that really made me laugh out loud was Gum Gum suspension bridge.
Looks like the trail picks up on the other side of this cliff. Luffy, gotcha. Gum suspension bridge.
It felt like something you would see in the Lego movie, like the big like gum gum, and then it just goes suspension bridge. That really made me laugh. And yes, my favorite devil fruit, just because I think it's really cool, devil fruit, the whisper fruit, which means you can speak or like hear the thoughts of animals. I would love that. I would love that if that was my devil fruit. So I'm gonna keep these notes because even though they mostly were like my thoughts and opinions, I also wrote down some things that are like good to remember. And so Dragonite was a source for immortality, so I wrote that down. Gotta remember that. And then I wrote down, I don't like the intro change. I don't like the new intro. I'm sorry. I don't know if that's an unpopular opinion or not. Just the old one, like the first one was so good.
These words lured men to the Grand Line in pursuit of dreams greater than they'd ever dared to imagine. This is the time known as the Great Pirate Era.
Come aboard and bring along all your hopes and dreams. Together we will find everything that we're looking for. One Piece.
It was so good. It was like intense. It could just give you chills and you were like, oh my god, I'm so ready for this episode. Let me sit down, let me lock in. When Luffy says, I'm not crazy. Luffy, I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. You are one of the craziest moment characters I think I've ever encountered in media ever. But that's okay. That's why everyone loves you. And I got chills at the ending, especially with the way that they made their way up the water hill to the Grand Line, and the way Nami kicked that guy off the thing. He was annoying, by the way. He was really irrelevant to me. He was super annoying. And I think, yeah, now they're gonna like enter the Grand Line and wander Alabasta, which is really cool. I saw that it was Alabasta or Arabasta. I asked on my post, hey, which one is it? Like, guys, which one is it? And you guys said that it's more commonly Alabasta, so that's how I'm gonna reference it being. But obviously, apparently in Japan, L and R kind of interchangeable, so yeah, that's really cool. I'll be referring to it as Alabasta. But yeah, I'm gonna start those episodes soon. I haven't started them yet because I kind of wanted to wait to get this out of the way first. I was like, I want to review this so I'm not reviewing it with the hindsight of what I now would know happens. Anyway, but yeah, that is my review of the East Blue Saga. So thank you guys so much for watching. I just want to preface again, thank you so much for your support on my last One Piece video. It was so nice seeing everyone's comments, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video too. And once again, please share your thoughts and feelings and everything in the comments and your opinions on certain arcs. I'd love to hear about it. Just respect each other's opinions, obviously, is all I ever ask. Yeah, it was super fun. I'm really enjoying the show. Like, I'm genuinely enjoying it. If I wasn't enjoying it, I wouldn't continue watching. I'm genuinely enjoying the show. I'm super excited for season 2 of the live action. No, I'm gonna go on to Alabasta probably tonight. I'll start it, and then I'll be doing a review of the Alabasta Saga and all of the sagas to come after that. I'm also aware that it's still releasing. It's still releasing like weekly chapters and then weekly episodes, which is crazy that we don't have an ending yet. No one knows the ending other than the author, Oda. I think in the behind some live action they called him Sensei Oda. I don't know. Let me know. Yeah, so that's crazy that it's still ongoing, but that's also super exciting because it means that maybe I can catch up and experience it with everyone else. That would be really cool. I also seen a lot of people saying that I should read the manga. I would so be down. I think I want to finish the anime first, purely because I think I will get through it quicker, and it would be a bit too back and forth to do the manga at the same time. Once I'm caught up though, I would so be down. Also, keep finding myself wanting to buy One Piece merch. I really want to. Tell me why I want to go get a fucking straw hat. Like, every time I see one as well, I'm like, Luffy reference. Anyway, I'll stop yapping and end this video, but thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you soon. I don't know if I'll upload before the Alabasta, I'm done with the Alabasta Saga. If anything else exciting happens in my life, then I'll upload something else. But the next One Piece related post will be the Alabasta Saga review. So be patient with me on that one, and I will see you guys then. Love ya.
Love you. Bye.
Love ya.